Ahava and blessings. Welcome to this episode of Hold the Shehina. This podcast is here to aid and guide us in this ascension journey, in remembering, embodying, integrating, and activating our soul essence. I am your host. My name is Aurea. I am an ordained Magdalene priestess, a Reiki master, energy, and a sound healer. And I am your guide in this journey. So welcome to this space. Every time that I look on the RSS feed, I am happy to see more and more people tuning in and enjoying and receiving the wisdom. So happy new moon in the sign of Gemini. I am incredibly grateful to be sharing this time with you. In this episode, we are going to cover what is going on with this new moon in Gemini. So the new moon in Gemini is Thursday, June 6th, and it is happening at 5:37 a.m. Pacific, 8:37 Eastern Standard Time, and I believe it's 1:37 in the UK, so it might be 1:37 also in Central European Time. But this new moon is anything but dull. And if you know any Geminis in your life, you know very well that the frequency of a Gemini is very fast, it's very intellectual, it's very chatty, it's very loquacious. They love to know everything about everything, and it's always like a little bit of everything, and they want to be a part of everything and everyone. They're super social. They're about community. They're about communication. And they are about they're about relationships. Not in the way that Libra is about relationships, but in their way of desiring to create connections. So this new moon is happening at 16 degrees, and 16 is the number 7 in numerology. In numerology, the 7 is the number that is associated with the divine feminine, with the goddess, with Mary Magdalene, with initiation, with spiritual awakening, with deep transformation, with healing. It's a very potent energy. And it's interesting, and it's very fortuitous because this moon is conjunct Mercury at like the 10 degree orb, which is something, it's the beginning, it's a very loose conjunction, but Mercury is still in the mix. But you know what else is in the mix? The planet Venus. Venus is at 16 degrees of Gemini, and it is conjunct both the sun and the moon, who are both at 16 degrees of Gemini. So this energy is the energy of the kiss of the goddess. In Aramaic, it is called the Nashak. And it really, if you choose to align to this portal, because the conjunction of the moon and Venus is always a beautiful portal, and it's a portal that has to do with healing, and it has to do with the frequencies and energies of creation. So bringing the energies of the Garden of Eden into our physical reality, the energies of harmony, of peace, of joy, of love, of pleasure, of sensuality, of relationships, and nourishing and nurturing our relationships. So we have this healing energy, this energy of beauty and of spiritual beauty that is Venus, conjunct the sun and the moon. In the mix is Mercury in a square with Saturn, which means that it is, it's kind of like a push and pull. Something has to be an equilibrium, and a challenge has to be overcome with the square with Saturn. So Saturn is the taskmaster, and Saturn is asking us to really take a hard look as to whether our communication, our presentation, our way of interacting with the world around us our way of interacting in our relationships is in alignment with our highest good? Is it in alignment with creation? Is it in alignment with what we are saying that we wish to manifest and birth into being? New moons are about new beginnings, new cycles, seeding your intentions. So we're really being confronted with what it is that we need to look at in order to advance and accelerate our growth and our evolution. Pluto is in the mix too. So we have healing, we have transformation, we have awakening, we have creation, we have manifestation, we have expansion, because there is also Jupiter in the mix, because Gemini is conjunct Jupiter. And Jupiter is the planet of good luck, of good fortune, of expansion. So with all of this energy, and there are solar flares happening, there's a lot of energy. And what's interesting is this new moon is really allowing you to see what you have not seen before. I'll give you an example. I had absolutely no idea that there was an apricot tree in my backyard. Never noticed it before. Last year, it clearly didn't want to bloom. Maybe it was its first year or second year, and it really didn't feel like blooming. It flowered, but I didn't see any fruits last year. So this year, as I'm leading up into this new moon, so portals, new moon and full moon portals happen. So the energy of that activation is active for 3 days before and 3 days after the new moon. So within the lead up to this new moon, I realized there's an apricot tree. An apricot is a tree that is associated with love, with harmony, with Venus. So there right there was the unseen being seen. Because remember, the 7, which is the 16, the degree that this new moon is happening at, is about seeing the unseen. Because the feminine invites you into the mysteries to see the unseen. So this tree is laden with fruits, laden with apricots. That's some of the chipmunks I've been having to go at. So we're going to have to figure out how to make sure those apricots ripen, because right now I picked a few and they're quite green. But I digress. My point when I do these readings, when I feel into the energy, you must understand that everything around you is a sign and is a symbol, is symbolic of an energy that is being activated around you at this time. And sometimes those energies have to do with the collective. Sometimes those energies have to do with just you. So as you tune into your intuition, you understand where these energies fit in, and if something is more of a message for you or more of a message for the collective. So in my case, I was thinking, I'm like, oh, this is not just for me. This is a message to all of us to see, allow ourselves to shift our perspective, shift the way that we view things, because every single one of us has a lens or several lenses, layers of lenses through which we perceive the world. And those lenses sometimes are, how shall we say this? They're cloudy, they're muddy, they have gunk on them. They're not the clearest lenses, they're not the highest quality lenses. So sometimes you have to get rid of some of these lenses in order to truly allow yourself to see and perceive the world clearly, and to take aligned action with that newly found clarity, with the clarity that you have gained. So this wisdom is all around us. It is in everything and everyone we meet, and everything that we do. So we are at the point where the divine, Mother, Father, God, Goddess, Allah, is showing us that we have everything that we need already in our environment. There already is abundance. There already is manifest everything that you wish to see manifest into the world. However, because of the lenses, we don't see it. It took a shift in my lens for me to see the tree that was laden with fruit, and that tree must be guarded and nurtured and honored. So what did I do? Because the kiss of the goddess is all about devotion, and this moon conjunct Venus is about expressing devotion, and this new moon brings us into deeper devotion. I drummed and I chanted my mantras and I sang all across my yard. I don't know what my neighbors thought of it. Hopefully they liked it. But I honored the land I was on, and I honored the trees. I planted 2 magnolias this year, and I honored that apricot tree before I picked some fruit to see, if I could save some, maybe they'll ripen off the tree. And then I'm looking at the other fruits and I'm like, okay, we need to do something to make sure this tree is healthy, to make sure that this tree, the fruits actually ripen. So what does this mean for us in this new moon in Gemini? What it means is that it takes a shift in our perspective to actually see the benefits that we are about to manifest, that we are in the process of manifesting. And all it takes is a few tweaks, a little course correction here and there, and we will be seeing the fruits of our labor. And what needs to happen for us to see the fruits of our intentions, the seeds that we are birthing? We need to properly nourish the grounds and the waters of our creation. And we do this by purifying. We do this by reflecting. We do this through meditation. And your practice can be anything. It can be prayer. It can be mantras. It can be meditating. It can be sound healing. It can be going for walks in nature, intentional walks in nature, connecting with the earth beneath you, connecting with the land, connecting with the person that you're in front of, really looking in their eyes and forming a connection, knowing that that being in front of you also has their own specific purpose, their own mission, their own story that they too are evolving into and out of. Because remember, at every moment we are evolving out of and into something else. We are in an effortless, well, sometimes it's not so effortless, but we are in a constant state of creation, death, rebirth, transformation, healing, activation. This is the reason we chose to incarnate. This is the reason we chose to be here on this earth at this particular time, because apparently this is the most exciting time on earth, even though we ourselves may not feel it right now. But it is, because the layers of our identity, of who we thought we were, of what we thought we should be doing, who we thought we should be being, all of that is being peeled away layer by layer. And what is it revealing? It is revealing your true essence, your soul, your infinite connection to the divine, and the fact that you are a spark, a part of that divine frequency, experiencing itself as you. And that is the magic of this new moon. We are being shown what we need to do, how we need to respond, how we need to expand and evolve beyond our current understanding and way of viewing the world. So, we're entering the lunar cycle of Sivan. And this cycle, because it has to do with Mercury, and with communication and with the B energy, so frequency and vibration, we are coming into deeper alignment and awareness of the fact that we create our world. We create our reality. Our entire world has been co-created by us. How we interact, how we view the world, all of it is a reflection of a deep-seated belief. And if you wish to transform what is already physical, you don't start with the physical world. You start with the unseen. You start with the divine and connecting and aligning with the divine and allowing that infinite light to infuse you with wisdom. And wisdom is something that we align with when we allow ourselves to be humble. So humility is something that keeps coming up, and I believe I believe that this keeps coming up in the collective because it is still a lesson we have not mastered. We have not mastered the art of humility, of truly putting the ego to the side, taking it out, and allowing our soul to lead, allowing the divine to lead and to act and to speak and to express through us. We keep creating these separations, these barriers. But Gemini is all about bringing those barriers and those separations into union. It is about the alchemical marriage. It is about uniting the polarities and the dualities within us. And when we can unite the dualities within us, we unite the dualities outside of us. So we have a lot of beautiful frequencies of love, of abundance, of fertility, of creation. And we are the ones that are creating our reality. And that is very difficult for some people, some of us, to understand because it's a lot of responsibility. And it can bring up fear and anxiety and doubt and all kinds of feelings of overwhelm. Because we may think that, oh, well, shit, if I created all of this, then, we want to add a value judgment to it. We want to say, well, I clearly must not be a good person, or there must be something wrong with me, or insert your limiting belief here. Whatever triggers this is bringing up for you, it is bringing them up for a reason. It is bringing them up for you to see them, feel them, experience them, and let them go. Bring in more light. Because when you are operating and when you are experiencing life from the perspective that you are infinite creation creating infinitely, you are the Bereshit, creation creating infinitely, the first word of the Genesis, then you know that in a moment you can shift your vibration. And when you shift your vibration, the physical reality will take a little time it takes a bit to catch up to your shift in frequency. But the more you maintain your frequency, the more you maintain your vibration, what you are choosing to align with, the more everything you will start to see in the physical realm, the changes of your frequency, of your vibration. The new vibration that you are holding will cement itself in physicality. And so we have the word, we have creation, we have the Zayin, which created Gemini. So this is the Aramaic letter that created Gemini. It's the 7th letter. So again, the 7 keeps coming up. And Zayin represents the crowned Vav, and it is the ability to be the light. Not just to be it though, but to live in this infinite light of creation, to utilize this light for the highest of our expressions and creations. It also symbolizes the sword that we use to cut out the karma, to cut out all that is not truth. So if it is not in alignment with your highest good, it's got to go. And we human beings, we like to hold on to things because, we think we might need them at some point in time. But what the divine, what Allah, what the Abun, what source consciousness wants to gift you with is so far beyond what you've ever imagined that you can't even fathom it at this point in time. So in that effect, all we need to do is trust, to align with infinity, align with this light, and trust that the more that we purify, the more that we align, the more that we cut out all that is not truth, all that is our limiting beliefs and our karma and all of that, the more that we come into deeper connection to the divine, deeper divine union, and we shift our frequency and we manifest that shift in our physicality. So the other Aramaic letter that is at play and is lending its frequency to this new moon is the Reish, and the Reish created Mercury. And it is all about free will and strengthening our relationship with the divine. It is that thirst for wisdom. And again, that thirst for wisdom requires humility. It requires emptying yourself. And in the scriptures, it says to be poor, but it's not that poverty in the material sense. It's that poverty in the sense of longing for wisdom, that deep longing for that divine union. And the divine only comes when we cultivate humility, when we cultivate this innate unity of heaven and earth. So there's a lot going on. We think there's a lot of teachings on manifestation, and all of them say one thing or another. Some say, well, you have to shift your mindset, the mind, and it's your what's the word I'm looking for? It's the mind. Let me think. I'll see. That's the problem. That right there is the message. We think that it is the mind. We think that it is something that we can fix with our intellect, without understanding that the intellect itself is limited. Your intellect, no matter how many PhDs you have, no matter how intelligent you are, the intellect is limited by your personal experiences. And your personal experiences are human experiences. They are 3D experiences. So in order to really cultivate this inner union, this union with the divine, we must get away. In order to manifest, we must get away from the mind. Because the mind is a projection of the ego. And we must go deeper into the divine feminine wisdoms, into the Shekhinah, into the infinite cosmic oneness. And from there, we learn to shift our frequency. And when we can learn how to shift our frequency, we learn to embody this new frequency. And this new frequency is the frequency of your soul. It's the frequency of your soul, completely unadorned, completely naked. And what is it naked of? It is naked of all of the ego stuff, all of the stories, all of the limiting beliefs, all of the karmas and traumas. And it is infinite soul, infinite consciousness. That is your true essence. Your true essence is that infinity. And you cannot comprehend it with the mind, because the mind will trick you into thinking that, oh yes, I'm spiritual and therefore I'm better than. I do these practices, therefore I am superior. I eat this way, therefore I am a better human being. All of that is ego, and all of that is separation, and all of that is the mind. And all of that will keep you stuck in the perpetual loop, in the perpetual cycle, and repeating the same lessons, because we are not aligning with infinity. We are not aligning with infinite creation and allowing that infinite light to pour through us, cultivating the humility to allow it to flow through us, because we know there's no separation between us in this physical form and that infinite light. And that is that teaching of this new moon. So how do we do this? How do we work with this energy? I mentioned being in devotion, and for each of us, it is important to truly explore what devotion means to you. For some, it's meditation. For others, it's walking in nature. For others, it's conscious breathing, yoga, movement, dance, art, singing, chanting, drumming. All of these ways are ways of expressing devotion and being mindful, choosing what frequency we wish to engage in. What game do we wish to play? Do we wish to continue playing the game of duality, the game of separation, the game that everything is limited? And do we truly wish to perpetuate the game of limitation and separation and chaos and destruction? Or do we wish to shift and to hold a different frequency, a frequency that is more in alignment with our soul, with the divine, with unity? And that is it. It sounds really simplistic, but in practice, it's quite difficult, because if, let's say that, your practice is mantras and meditation, there will be days when your human self, being human, will be tired, will be cranky, will be hungry, will be, whatever. Just had a fight with the boyfriend or the girlfriend or whoever. And, somebody just wronged you, and you're like, well, what the am I doing this for? And it's in those moments where the discipline, and Saturn comes back in because Saturn is about discipline. The discipline of your practice is what is going to allow you to transcend that experience. Because we can allow ourselves to give in to destruction and to chaos and to manipulation and illusion and all of that. Sure, we can. It's probably easier. You can go back to sleep. I'm sure a lot of people who are awake or awakening are like, well, shit, why the hell did I wake up? I could just be numb and, obnoxiously oblivious, and I just go on my life. All I need is, make sure my rent is paid, and, I can buy food and, party. Lots of people are living that way. And it's okay, because that's their journey. But if you chose to awaken, that means that path wasn't for you. That path wasn't what was going to contribute to your highest good and your highest evolution. And that's okay. And that means that you have a greater mission, that you have, and not greater in the sense of better than, greater in the sense that your soul chose to experience things on a deeper level. Your soul chose to go deeper in this lifetime than maybe you had gone in previous lifetimes, and then other people around you, maybe even in your family, chose to do this lifetime. One is neither good nor bad. Both are equally valid choices. It's just a matter of what your soul, what lights up your soul, what brings you into that ecstasy of gnosis, of wisdom, of the divine, of this grasping infinity, of this, even for a split second, this feeling your union with all that is, all that was, and all that will be. And that's magical. And even though it may be difficult at times, over time, you will realize that it's worth it. The spiritual path is deeply and so worth it, because there are layers and there to this spiral that allow you to transcend and evolve and break cycles, and it's exciting and it's challenging and it's rewarding and it's exhilarating. It's a type of excitement that you cannot get from watching a game on television or in person. It's the type of excitement that feels like it's your heart on fire. Your passion, your commitment, your energy is magnetic. Your radiance illuminates a room. And that, it's not for the room, although the room gets to benefit from your radiance. But that's you living your purpose. That's you sharing your gifts. That's you embodying your light. That's you allowing yourself to be that vessel for the divine. To know that you are the divine, and in that same moment, you are the vessel. So you are the vessel, you are the divine, you are everything around you and everyone around you. You are the apricot tree that is full of fruit, that is full of gifts to share. You are the waters of creation. You are the waters in the ocean and in the rivers. You are all that is and all that will be. Everything cycles, everything comes, everything ebbs and flows. There is a death, there is a rebirth. There is life, there is death. There is cycles, and every cycle we go deeper. We allow ourselves to access more wisdom. And in that wisdom, we come closer to experiencing our infinity and to manifesting that infinity here in our physical world, in our relationships, in our divine earth, in Almakuta. We live from a soul embodied perspective. And that is the energies we're working with. So choose to embody your light. Choose to connect with your light. Choose to discern whether you wish to be in vibration with something, in resonance with something, or not. The choice is yours. Always is and always has been. And now more than ever, it is important for us to choose wisely what we are aligning with. Because sure, some things look easy, and some things, look ominous, and some things are fool's gold. So we must truly cultivate our discernment, our wisdom, nourish this connection with the divine through devotion, through prayer, through meditation, through sound healing, however you do it, through movement, through breath work, and continue to cement that frequency. Continue to embody it. And there's no guilt, there's no shame, there's no blame, there's none of that. That just keeps us in separation. So if you happen to fall off track, which we all do, if you happen to not be in the mood to do your practices, allow yourself 5 minutes to not be in the mood to do your practices. And then after those 5 minutes is up, go do your practices. Because it's the consistency that will get you where you need to be. And with that is the frequency of this new moon. That is how to work with this energy. That is how to harness this energy and allow it to support you in elevating your experience, your manifestation. So don't forget to make your intentions, seed your intentions, and choose the frequency. Choose wisely, choose with discernment, choose the frequency you wish to align with. Cultivate humility, nourish your connection to the divine and to your soul. And let's choose to be in love, in gratitude, in grace, in Ahava, which is love and service. Have a blessed, blessed new moon. If you enjoyed this, of course, give this a thumbs up, a like. I'm not sure how these things are calculated on the different platforms, but I believe you know how to do that. Subscribe, follow me on Instagram. You can find me at Hold the Shekhinah, SHEKINAH, or you can follow me at Aurea Lara, AUREALARA. I always post little sound activations, or on YouTube. You can also find me on YouTube, Aurea, AUREA, last name Lara, LARA. And I always post either shorter or longer format meditations, movements, mantras, sound activations, all kinds of goodies to keep us in alignment and to allow us to connect with the energies and to understand more about the frequencies that we're working with. So do give me a follow. And if you enjoyed this, also please share this. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can comment below and let me know how you're feeling this energy. If you follow me on one of the social media Instagrams, just comment and let me know how you're feeling this energy. Always grateful to connect with you guys. Have a beautiful new moon. Don't forget to set your intentions, and don't forget to tune in to the companion sound activation. And I believe for another couple weeks, we still are open for the sound healing course, Crystalline Sound Alchemy. So if you want to learn how to utilize sound for manifestation, for healing, for creation, for accessing your infinite light, cementing it in your physical form, clearing your Tree of Life template, check out the link in the show notes. Have a blessed, blessed new moon.